Hi, my name is Charlie, and today I'm sorry if I look back here. I have a few notes that I want to talk about today. Today's going to be not really serious. It's serious for me, and I'm sorry I'm filming on Potato. I had to get a new phone. My other phone decided to crap out, and so I had to get a new phone. So it's a Samsung phone now. But it's a terrible camera. It's a terrible front-facing camera, at least. So I keep on getting off track because I want to procrastinate. I'm sorry if I don't talk properly either. So I really want to talk about my anxiety because I know I've mentioned it here and there, and it is a huge part of my life. For the longest time, it did take up my life. It did control me. So I guess we can probably start from my whole life. I've had anxiety. I mean, I remember when 5 years ago when I lived in a small little town. I'm not going to say what it's called, but it's a small little town. And walking to, like, the library, that was at least a 5-minute walk, gave me panic attacks. And I didn't know what they were at the time. If I see somebody walking ahead of me, I didn't know if they're walking the same way I was or walking towards me, I would have a panic attack. And I didn't know what they were called. For a good while, it kind of just went away. It wasn't a huge problem. And that was probably until grade 7. And that was about 2 years ago. Well, maybe even a little bit right before grade 7 started. I started getting picked on. And at the time, it did seem worse than it actually was. But now I look back at it, it was kind of stupid. But it's probably because I was having so bad anxiety that it made it worse for the time. I mean, and it also was stuff that I was struggling with, especially with my personal identity. I was getting picked on because I had short hair and I looked like a boy all the time. I wasn't feminine. Apparently you have to be feminine to be a female. So it really did get to me, and it ruined my summer from going to grade 7 to grade 8. And in grade 7, I missed a total of 38 days in the second semester, and that's not good. Grade 8 came around, and I found it harder every single day to get up, and it slowly turned from anxiety to depression. It really hit me hard towards the middle of the year, and that's actually in the middle of the school year. That's really where my birthday is. That's how I remember it. And it just, well, not my birthday's at the end of the school year, but you get what I mean. It was just really hard. I mean, I had a really good support group. I had 2 friends that I would sit with, and if anything went wrong, I would be like, talk to me, I need help, come on. And I had a really awesome teacher, and I miss him so much. I still wish he didn't switch schools, but now I switched schools, so it's okay. And it just kept on getting worse because at the time I wasn't on any medication for my anxiety. I wasn't coping with my anxiety like I should have. Like, I was going to a counselor, but counselors can only do so little. And then the summer leading back into grade 9 in my high school, I had the worst worst summer of my entire life, because every single day, one day closer to the start of school, I was freaking out. Because, one, it's going to high school. That's already scary on its own. And it shouldn't have been that scary because our middle school and the high school was in the same school. So we knew most of the teachers, so it would have been fine. But I knew I was getting worse. I knew at a point there was probably going to be a breaking point. But I didn't want that breaking point to happen. And then September, I think it was the 8th, we went back to school. I'm not too sure about that. Don't quote me on that. And the first day was good. I met a few friends. I had fun. I met my teachers. And then it got worse. It just went down. I already missed 20 days, I'm pretty sure, in September. And it was terrible. And one of the days I did go to school, at lunchtime, I would always say, I'm going to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom. At lunchtime, and I'd go into the bathroom, and I'd cut myself in a stall with anything sharp I could find. it'd usually be the metal part of a pencil. I would take the eraser out, bite it, make sure it was nice and pointy, and scratch myself till I bled. I did that almost every single day until November. I think around November. Almost every single day I went to school, I cut myself. And I'm not proud to admit that. I'm really not. October 2nd is when I was at school, and it was the first period. And I sat at my desk. I was with a friend because I was in the same class as he was. And I couldn't focus on what I was doing. I think we were writing something about, like, computers or something. Can't remember because it was a tech class. I sat there and had suicidal thoughts. About 20 minutes go by, and that's when it clicked. Oh, I shouldn't be having these thoughts. So I asked my teacher if I could go to the office, and he said yes, because he knows about my anxiety, so it's probably just to talk to somebody. I go to the office and ask if I can talk to somebody. And I end up talking to a teacher, well, not really a teacher, she's a attendance counselor, but I've known her for about 2 years, so I felt comfortable talking to her, and I told her. So then we called my mom, and I went to the hospital. I was admitted there about 2.5 weeks in the children's mental health unit. And it did help. I was put onto medication around that time. Well, I was on medication about 2 weeks prior, but it wasn't working for me, so they switched it. And now I am on the same medication. It's been working fine for me. And that's also when I really did distance myself from some of my friends, especially my best friend. It wasn't fair for both of us. I remember even walking with him one day, and I asked him, "What would you do if I committed suicide?" And he'd say, "I'd be crushed." He said it like he probably wouldn't know what to do with himself. So that did give me a little bit of a, okay, I can't now, because, I mean, nobody else has told me not to. And then, on Halloween, I was supposed to go out with him and go trick-or-treating, but, my mom convinced me to go back to the hospital, and he kind of didn't believe me, if that makes sense. And I cried for that for 4 days, because I felt like I just lost my best friend. We've been best friends since grade 6. Maybe we were kind of connected before that when I moved to that school in grade 5. I was not even crushed. I was devastated, because I felt like it happened at the worst time. And I was put on the waiting list to get back to the hospital because it was packed, and I think that scared me more than hurt. It scared me because that was a side of him that I never saw before. So that one did really suck. And I mean, now, oh come on, now I've been getting better. I mean, I'm not 100% better. I mean, I still cut myself. Like, if you want to see proof, I can't really see it, but can't really see it, but there's more scars than actual cuts there. I don't do it on this arm because it's awkward. At least I have some decency and some standards. And recently I've really gotten back into art and music and trying to find ways to cope with everything. And I've taken my thoughts and I've taken everything that's happened in my brain and put it into books, and I've put it into my writing for my fan fictions. I just have a lot of ways that I can vent. And I never noticed that before. I never noticed that there's different ways, and there's different ways you can vent, because the bad vibes that you get in your head can turn into something amazing. I mean, I wrote a song about my dad and how he is, for me right now, not important. And came out sounded like a Panic at the Disco song. It's awesome. And I bought a new ukulele. I mean, I have it right here, and it's my favorite ukulele of all time. The sound of it comes out amazing. And I changed the way I acted, and I changed everything. But I changed my hair. I changed the way I dress. I changed my hat, for God's sake. I used to wear my favorite hat. Now I have my better favorite hat that I love so much. I mean, I changed everything about myself. And change is not always bad. It's not. Excuse me. But I never noticed that. I never knew that. So, I don't know, I felt like I needed to talk about it. I wanted to talk about it, because sometimes it's better to talk about stuff than just letting it be. It's definitely a good thing to talk about stuff like that. So, I don't know. I will do a few more of these sit-down videos. I really like them. I really like talking about the stuff how I am doing and how my life was before this and that, and it feels like a huge weight was lifted off my chest, because it's almost like, oh yeah, well, I'm severely depressed. So, I don't know. I guess I will end this here. It's been 11 minutes, like, my God. I talk for too long, and this is unedited. These are never gonna be edited. I'm just making that clear. I don't want it to be edited so you think I'm cutting out a huge part or I'm acting or something. So, yeah. So if you liked it, like my video, and I also have a new website that you can go into the link in the description, and you'll find my website that links to my Twitter, to my Instagram, and back to my YouTube. You can also see some of my artwork and some of my other amazing fan fictions there if you want to, but if you get triggered by things, I don't suggest going. So, my name is Charlie, and I'll see you somewhere in the future.